Sometimes it's the silence from a person where they scream the loudest. Sometimes we just get those days where down is the only way to feel. We begin to feel all is lost, all is gone. What is anything worth doing? Hey guys, Angel here, and I'm here with Shayna in ShaynainShambles to talk about a few tough topics. But before I tell you about them, just so you guys know, these are triggering topics and may cause some form of distress or some sort of, it might invoke some kind of feelings, just letting you guys know ahead of time. But we're here to talk to you guys about depression, suicide, and self-injury, as well as ways of coping with such difficult thoughts and hard feelings about that. And so we're making these videos in honor of Suicide Awareness Month as a whole, and specifically Suicide Awareness Day, which is September 10th. So depression, what is it? It's a lot of pain. It's a culmination of a variety of forms. Sometimes it's shown physically by, cutting yourself or hurting yourself in some way, shape, and form, or it destroys us from the inside. It hurts. It hurts a lot. It's a difficult thing to talk about. It's a complicated process. It's something hard to bring out into words of how it feels, but it's just shit. Mind my language, but it's absolute shit. It just makes you feel horrible. You don't want to do something. You just want to lie there and just not do anything, or it leads to bad thoughts. Sometimes depression leads to anxiety or depressive anxiety of I don't really know how to explain it, but it's something that's hard to deal with in yourself, kind of thing. It's like an eternal rainy day cloud. We all have our own ways of coping with it, but some ways of coping don't hurt us. It also hurts those around us. Some people don't take it seriously. Some people deny it completely. I want you guys to know, though, that we here in our channels, we talk and we listen, and we suggest for better days. That if you are dealing with these kinds of things, bring it up to someone who you trust and who you know. Because talk to them, talk yourself through it, have them talk to you about it. And communication is always something important with these kinds of things, because it's hard to do it alone. First of all, you never want to, and we feel like we don't want to talk to anyone about it. We feel if we do, we're putting a burden on somebody, or like we think they're gonna react badly about you, or they're gonna think negatively of you. But it's not, because what it is that you're hurt and you're hurting on the inside. And when you don't share that hurt, it hurts other people too, because other people are there for you. It might not seem like it, but they are. Be it your family, your friends, a teacher, your counselors. So talk to them if this is the kind of thing that's happening to you, because they can help take the burden off of you for a little bit. Really, when it comes to it, it's you yourself who can handle through it, but it's near impossible to do alone, because it's hard to make sense of it when you're in the worst moments, and these pains, they just don't stop. Sometimes talking the pain out, just having somebody to vent to, someone to carry the weight with you, then it kind of eases your mind and just eases the load. Here's something I wrote. The world is filled with chaos, but it's not just the chaos of our world as a whole. It can also be the chaos from inside our hearts and our minds, and the best we can do is hope for a better day. There's more than one way to get an answer for these problems that you're facing. Life is a problem, like a mathematical one. And like any mathematical problem, There's so many different ways and branches to find one answer. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 1 plus 3 does 2. But one answer is always going to be one answer people always tend to resort to from their pain is to end it all. Some other people turn to drugs, and that shit just is a slippery slope. And there's always more than one answer. There's ways of coping with these problems. But the one answer that should never be looked forward to is suicide or self-harm. We've lost so many great people, so many amazing and talented people because of their inability and willingness to live. Because when you're gone forever, and it just leaves a huge hole with everyone you left behind. When you hurt yourself, it's a cry for help, but it's your only way of saying, please help me. But it doesn't give us a way of helping you. When you finally end it all, it's horrible because it just leaves us thinking, what could I have done? Why couldn't I help you? I wanted to help you. Please come back, kind of thing. And when that happens, there's no response for it. Life in itself is an experience, and all of us here and now, everyone around us, we're all alive. We're all sharing the same experience. Sure, we're all treated horribly, and we're treated badly, but we're all here together at this very instant. You, me, Uncle Bob, Uncle Steve, Aunt Jemima, whatever. We're all here. We're living in this existence, in this experience now. And we share these experiences intertwined through the many rivers of life. And who knows where that river leads to. Sure, you're going to have a lot of rocks in that river, and it just makes the stream harder to push through. But eventually, once you overcome those rough waters, it's smooth sailing in open seas. You just need to be there for it. What I always say is, whenever there's a down day, or for a friend, I always say, there's always a better day. Be there for it. Be there, and I'll try to be there with you for it. And things like that, because one thing that's always helpful is hope. Hope is what drives us as people. And that's just one way of coping with it. Whenever you do get depression attacks or anxiety attacks, just calm. I know it's going to be hard, but try to calm down and breathe. Just kind of make sense of it all. That, yes, the world is shit. We as humans are pretty fucked up creatures, but even though we are still there for each other. We are strong as a whole, as a crowd. We fight for each other. When you're gone, who do we fight for? Most people, when in life, they've fought for you, alongside you, and maybe you even fought for someone else. Don't let it go to waste. When it comes to dealing with the negative energy and the negative vibes, just try to express it in a way that makes sense to you and what you're passionate about. As a songwriter, when I get down days, I would just pick up my guitar and just feel how it is, and just feel the guitar out, and just let the words flow. Or as a storyteller, I just write what it is, the experience is like, to make sense of it. Because what's important in life is communication. And when you try to write it down and express it, you're communicating with yourself, which is the best thing you can do, because only you know you more than other people's know you. You are yourself, and you are an experience. And life is an experience that has an end, a definite end, but don't meet that end early. It's a hard topic to talk about. Like I said, there's always a better day. You just need to work towards it and find it. You may be down in the dumps right now at this very instant. You may be feeling like that dark cloud will never leave. And it might not for you, but you can always make it better. You can learn to deal with it and just, it's there. Just acknowledge it and just kind of put it to the side, look over at it, just give it some attention. But eventually it'll fade away in a way that you don't want to hurt yourself anymore because of how much you've accomplished. Like, look at yourself today and see where you've made it. Look at me. I've made it to college. I'm working hard right now at what I do. I'm making a video for you guys, and it's just I've worked my way here, and it's like I wouldn't want this to go to waste, and I want to be there for you guys. Just make more and more. Life is short, so don't waste it, because you never know what happens next day. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. It's something people always tell me. So whenever I make a video for you guys, or I'm just hanging out being a complete ass bag, making an ass out of myself, it's just like, because I know that accidents would happen, and that it does have an end. But if you live every day like your last, and you try to make the best of it, you'll make the best of it. You may not feel like it's real, but fake it till you make it. That you should try your hardest and your best to be there for those around you. Because sometimes if you're down in the dumps and someone else is too, they might be having the exact same problems as you, or even worse. Because pain is relative, but pain is universal. So try not to stomp on your fellow man, but bring each other up and stand alongside them. Life is pain, but life is an experience. We live in this experience, so we live in this pain. It's only easier if you talk to your friends about it and talk to those closest to you about it. Let them carry the burdens with you, because we're living this experience and we're living this pain. You never know what that experience is going to bring you. So look forward to it. Look forward for that better day. And look forward for those friends and those stories you'll tell. Because even if it's a painful story, when you look back at it, you survived it. So be there for the survivors. Be there for those who have made attempts before. Listen to them, listen to their stories, and if someone is trying to cope with these kinds of problems, talk to them and be there for them. Be a source of hope for them if they need it. If you're having a problem, be your own source of hope, but also look for other people to give you hope, or look for that project, that one thing you want to finish before it all goes. Because when you have one set goal, you'll want to finish it, and then sometimes they just chain on until you just accomplish so much more than you thought you would have at that given moment. Heavy topic. And if you do have friends who are dealing with these kinds of things, talk to them and lead them, at least be there with them to call for help, for suicide prevention hotlines, things like that. Be there with them and be supportive of them. Help them understand their problems. Try to solve your problems if you do have one. Just hurting yourself only hurts others more. This may hurt you, but it hurts me the most. That's what the pain is. So, like I said, when you experience something, you're experiencing it with us all. So, the more you hurt yourself, you're hurting those others around you, however many of those are close to you. The pain may shock you, but that final pain, that final scar, the permanent scar you inflict on yourself, it's a permanent scar in the minds of others. And that scar will leave them and it'll hurt them forever until they can't accept it. It's hard to accept. The world is grim. The world is dark. It sucks, but there's always that silver lining. Look for it, keep an eye on it, cherish it, and hold on to it. Let it be your goal, let it be your guide. And I hope that better day does come. It can, and it will. Just be there when it does. With you, your friends, your family, and all those around you who cared for you. Be there for it, and be there with them for it. Thank you, guys. This is Angelica signing off. I'll see you guys in the comments. Bye.